Hello viewers! I'm sorry it's been so long since my last vlog. I didn't get it done this weekend because I was just too busy doing stuff at home, and last night was kind of crazy. We got out of class really late and I just didn't have the energy to do it. So I'm doing it tonight. And this video is going to be about my first week. You saw my vlog probably maybe about my first day, and you saw that I was kind of timid about, in the first video about how it was going to be, and, kind of nervous. But in the one for the afternoon, I was kind of tired, but relieved, I guess. I felt like a lot of it was doable. And even though it is, I was not feeling that way Tuesday. Tuesday was a really bad day. We did a lot of lecture. It went really, really quickly. I didn't have much time to take notes, and the amount of information coming at me was overwhelming. We were assigned a lot of reading for that night that we had to do for the next day, and I was actually assigned a few things that were due for Thursday. So within 2 days, it seemed like I just had way too much stuff to do. There was no way I could get it done. I just knew that, this wasn't going to end well. But it did. So after my mini nervous breakdown on Tuesday, I guess Tuesday evening, I kind of gathered my strength and resources and decided, hey, this is a problem, and my job as a nurse is to fix problems. What am I going to do about it? I've got all of these things to do. What am I going to do to make it work? So I wrote everything down that I had to do for the next 2 days, and I split them into, this is due tomorrow, this is due 2 days from now. And after I split them into those groups, I realized I actually did have time to do all that, or most of that. So I kind of prioritized and decided what has to get done, what can I skim over, what can I do later. So for the first night, for Tuesday night, I did 3 chapters of my nursing book, and luckily I had already read 1.5 of those chapters, so it was a lot easier than it would have been if I hadn't. So I had to read chapters 3, 4, and 5, and I'd already read chapters 3 and half of 4, so I finished reading 4 and 5, and then I had a chapter in microbiology to read and a chapter in anatomy to read. And it all got done. I skimmed a little bit over anatomy because I've had that's a strength of mine, so I knew that it wasn't my top priority. Nursing was my top priority because that's information that I've never really been exposed to, and I knew that I would need to spend the most time on it. And then the next night, I made sure that I did all of my things for microbiology. I had a movie to watch and a quiz to take on it. And it all got done, surprisingly. If you'd asked me Tuesday afternoon, right when I left class, I would have told you there's no way I can do all that. No way I can be prepared for class. But I was. And so I guess I wanted this to be a tip to you guys. Whatever you have to do, write down what you have to do and when it's due by. And then sort of prioritize what has to be done this time, what can I leave until tomorrow. And you don't want to procrastinate, but then there's some times where there's, so much that you can only do, I guess, so many hours worth in a day. There's only so much time that you have to do all this stuff. So you have to do what works, and what works for you. For me, it was pretty much sitting in the living room with everything off, TV off, computer in another room, phone elsewhere, and I just sat down and I read. And anytime that I felt fidgety or distracted, I would get up and do something, like get a glass of water. I would check my email, and I make sure that I don't stay online for more than 10 minutes at a time. So that means I can't just sit in there and comment on everyone's stuff on Facebook. I can't, just constantly check my email every 5 seconds to see if there's a new one. So that was, I have to kind of control what how I spend my time. So I guess I've kind of gotten into the habit of that. After Tuesday and Wednesday, it was a little less overwhelming. Thursday was kind of weird. We had clinical orientation, and so we did a lot of stuff with the skills we learned in CNA class. And like we practiced blood pressure, practiced apical pulse, which was strange. I didn't know we'd be practicing that. Radial pulse, and just things like that. And basically it was so our instructors knew that we were competent in those areas before we started clinicals. Because even though we are almost all CNA certified or nursing aid certified or whatever, state certified, they wanted to make sure we actually knew what we were doing. It wasn't just luck that helped us pass the test. So that was all done, and then we had to do a fall module about fall risks and make sure we understood the different things that can cause falls and what we can do to prevent them and things like that. And we went through some scenarios about just how clinicals would be and what we might encounter. And that was different. I'm really interested to see how clinicals will go when we get in there. Other than that, the week was pretty good. And that was good too. I don't mean to say that the clinical orientation wasn't, but that was different. And the rest went pretty smoothly. There's something at our school called GSS, and it's guided study sessions. And I went to my first one on Friday before I went home for the weekend. And that was actually pretty cool because we had a student who had been in the class before, and they sort of went over things that we, might be confused about, or things that the teacher covers but might need a little more explanation before the test. And so basically it's just like a big tutoring session, or actually it's like a big second class. A lot of us went in there, and the student basically re-taught the class, went over all the information a second time, and made sure that any questions we had were answered. And it's a lot less intimidating when it's a student that you're asking questions to instead of the instructor. So that was a really great experience, and I really felt like I took a lot away from it. So if you have any tutoring programs at your school, I would definitely recommend doing it. I've always been pretty much a straight A student, especially through college, but I don't feel like going to a tutoring session is going to hurt. I definitely don't feel like, oh, I've always made straight A's, I don't need tutoring. No, I need everything I can get for this program. So I would recommend that, and I would also recommend purchasing something like a wall calendar, obviously a planner, just to keep up with everything you're doing. Also recommend sleep. That's kind of important. I'm just now this week learning to get to bed at 11 o'clock, be in bed by 11, not just start getting ready and brushing my teeth. I'm also packing everything the night before. I make sure that my book bag is packed and my lunch is made and sitting in the refrigerator, and that my clothes are laid out or hung up or something where I can get to them in the morning. And it's really been helpful. I've only had one little hiccup in my system. I didn't write an assignment down for nursing when it was announced in class, and I didn't do it. I totally forgot about it. And this morning when I came into class, it was up on the board, and I panicked. And luckily I had time to do it before we went over it, but I definitely should have had that done. There's not much of an excuse for me not having done it, because it was a really easy assignment. And the only reason I didn't is because it wasn't written down. I should have put it in my planner as soon as I heard about it. But yeah, I'm really excited about this week. I think it's going to go well. And I'm hoping that, the things that I've learned from last week will sort of make this week a little bit easier, and then things I learned this week will make next week a little bit easier. And once clinicals start, I think it's just going to throw my schedule completely off. But I'm going to a lot of the GSS meetings this week and next week. And the one I went to yesterday, which was microbiology, was also really helpful. So I'm really looking forward to doing all that and seeing how they help me for the test. I guess I'll be doing another vlog soon. I've gotten a request to do one about equipment and supplies that I'll be needing. So I'm probably going to do that tonight, and I might post it tonight or tomorrow or sometime later in the week. But if you guys have any other requests for videos, definitely let me know, because I didn't even really think to do that one. I've seen a lot of other people do it, but I didn't really plan it into any kind of schedule. So I'll try to do that one tonight and just put it out there so you guys can see. And hopefully at the end of this week, maybe the beginning of next week, might be next Tuesday because I have more time on Tuesdays, I'll try to upload my next vlog about what's going on. And nothing really super crazy's happened other than Tuesday where I had my little nervous breakdown. But once clinicals start, I'll definitely have a lot more to say, I think. So until then, I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!